Hey, this is Rick. We've got some great new features that we added to TruVizion this month. On our Wi-Fi Diagnostics screen, there's now a drill-in where you can actually drill in and see the performance of devices that are connected to the Wi-Fi gateway over time. Also, we've added a Wi-Fi tab to TechVision. And for those of you that have GPON networks that are managing OLTs and ONTs, we've added some mapping features there. And that's not all. Here's a rundown of everything that's new in TruVision. On the Wi-Fi Diagnostics screen, which you can get to by clicking the Wi-Fi tab right here if you have a compatible gateway, I can now drill in to see historical information on any connected devices by clicking one of these icons right here. When I click that, what I'm going to see is, as a default, the last 24 hours for signal strength, last data downlink rate, and the last data uplink rate right here. And the default is 24 hours. I can actually look back further in time if I wanted to by clicking 7 days, 30 days, 90 days. And if I wanted to, I could click a live button right here, and what that would do would be just every few seconds it would be plotting points on this chart for all of these charts, and I could see the data streaming in live. That's a very helpful feature if you're troubleshooting a customer live, for example. Maybe you have them walking around in their home, getting closer or further away from the access point to see what the signal strength and data rate looks like as you're doing that. So that would be with the live button if you wanted to do that. I also have a compare button here. When I click that, what I'm going to be looking at are signals from 5 devices in the home that were connected at some point during the period of time that I have selected right here. It could be that maybe there's not 5 devices, or it could be that maybe a device was connected for part time, in which case I would only see part of a line right here. But this again shows me the comparison of the 5 different devices during that period of time, so that gives me a chance to look at how other devices in the home were performing at that time. I can right here uncheck, if I wanted to, any of those particular colors to take them off of the chart. If I uncheck that, for example, or if I check it and put it right back, and as I hover over that, I can tell which device it is that's associated with that color. I also have a customize button that I can click right here, and what this shows me is the 5 devices currently that are being compared right there, and I have the option if I want to change that. So I could, for example, unselect this Motorola device and then select this other Apple device right here, click done, and now I'm actually going to be looking at that Apple device. And again, I can go up here and see which is which by looking at the colors right there on the chart, and if I want to, unselect one or more of those lines to take those off the chart. On the MAC domain report for Cisco CMTS, we can now show you a breakdown of narrowband and wideband use on the downstream. I get to the MAC domain report through the Network Navigator by opening up or clicking on the CMTS I want to look at, DOCSIS, MAC domains, the cable interface, down to the fiber node that I want to see. When I click on that, I'll see the upstream bandwidth use. And now when I click on downstream, I'll see by default narrowband, and I have a choice to select wideband to see bandwidth use on bonded channels. We've added a phone number field to the modem status report, which is accessed via the modem status panel on the CMTS diagnostic screen. I just click on one of these modem counts to get a report of those modems. These are not real customer names, and there are no phone numbers in this database to protect privacy, but this is where the phone number would appear. If you're using TruVision in your GPON network, we've added map drill-ins similar to what we have for DOCSIS. From the OLT report, you can map all devices connected to that OLT by clicking the View Map link. Go back to the report by clicking View Report. And on the ONT diagnostic screen, we've added a drill-in to the map panel. Just click this icon to view the map of all ONTs that are connected to that port. As I mentioned, we added a Wi-Fi tab to TechVision. Here's what that looks like. So as you can see, we've got our normal tabs up here, modem, voice, spectrum, and then the Wi-Fi tab is new. So I'm going to tap that, and now that's gathering data from the device, both the radio and then the devices that are connected to it. So here I can see the information about the radio, any errors that we might have. Everything looks fine. Here's the SSID, AP information. And then down here I've got my devices that are connected, and I can see if there are any transmit or receive issues, any errors, those kinds of things, any failures. So thanks for watching. Again, you can always look at what's new in TruVision by going to TruVision.com and then clicking on What's New under the Features tab.